a couple of concepts in Bardeen that are pretty common, and that's our Autobook and our Playbook. So these are our two terms that you'll find in Bardeen, but different types of automation that you'll find in general in the automation world. So to get started, I'm going to open up our Bardeen app here. And over here on the left, you're going to see two different things. You'll see a Playbook and an Autobook. So you can make both of these from our Create Playbook section here, but I want to explain in this video the difference between the two of them. So as we had mentioned in a previous video, on the left here we have a trigger, which is related to your Autobook, and your action, which is related to your playbook. The purpose of this video is diving a little bit deeper into what those actually mean, giving examples, giving ideas, so that way as you're building out and planning out your different playbooks, you'll have an idea of how to structure this properly inside of Bardeen to effectively complete your automation. So a trigger or Autobook inside of Bardeen is something that's going to be happening end-to-end fully automatic. Now, this may be actually a concept that's a little bit more familiar to you inside of the automation world. Anything that you're operationally doing, like if an email comes in, or if something is added to your calendar, or if a certain time happens, then trigger this automation. These are kind of traditional automations that you may think of. Whereas your action, which is your playbook, the person or the thing, the event that actually triggers this is a human. And this part's a little bit different inside of the automation world. This is what we would call a human in the loop automation, because a human is actually the one that's triggering this event. And this is also one of the things that makes Bardeen very, very unique, is that it is built on this idea of you going throughout your day and being able to trigger different automations, whether it be from a human or whether it be something that's automatically done in the background. So to give an example here, if we're going to click on your trigger, we're going to start with the Autobook, just so we know which direction we're going with. And we might do something like a Google Calendar. There's lots of different things here, just like in previous videos that we went over, but all of these are specifically for Autobooks. So you might see some of the different triggers and steps and things like that. They'll look a little bit different in your Autobook versus your Playbook. So we'll click on our Google Calendar, and two of them that we might see is when next event starts within, or when an event is created, updated, or deleted in Google Calendar. So I actually use both of these at Bardeen. I think that they're really, really helpful. So for example, when the next event starts within, I'll set those up to where, like, if I'm having a meeting, let me know via Slack 5 minutes before my meeting begins, because I might get in the flow and record a video and forget what time it is and realize that I need to talk to somebody in a few minutes. Real scenario. So I'll click on this, and you can see now that it's added here. You do need to connect your Google Calendar as well, but now this is added. You can see the little lightning bolt that will tell you this is indeed an actual Autobook instead of a playbook. And then just as before, you can build off of these as well. So we might say, go to Slack, and we'll say send Slack message. Again, need to connect your Slack account, but this is a very simple automation on your Autobook side that you can build. So now if we switch over, we're going to back out of this for a second, and we're going to make a new canvas. Now, if we do something similar, but on our playbook, we go down to our Google Calendar, you can see suddenly all of our different enrichments, all of our different steps have changed, because these are all automations that are meant to be included inside of a human playbook, something that's triggered by a human. So we might do something like, find or get last event. I actually use this one. So get last event on my calendar, and then same thing, we'll say send a Slack message, just as a general example. So whenever I want to use this, I will click this automation, and it will get the last event that I attended on my calendar, and then send me a Slack message with some of that information, for example. So those are very kind of simple concepts, but hopefully they help you get the idea of when to use an Autobook and then when to use a Playbook, or when you want something to be fully automated end to end, and when you want to be the one controlling when this automation begins. Hope that helps. Thank you.